Hello, welcome back. I hope everyone's having a really good day. Happy full moon in Sagittarius. The full moon is going to be happening tomorrow, May 26th, around 4:13 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So in the morning, so I wanted to hop on today so we can get this all handled. So, the stones for this week are going to be a beautiful Smokey Quartz chunk. Smoky Quartz chunk. A beautiful green Onyx sphere, very heart chakra energy, heart chakra vibes, and this beautiful Selenite cube, which appears differently on the top and bottom than it does on the sides. Okay. So, if you're rewatching the video, you can go ahead and skip ahead to your choices if you want to. And if not, then I'm going to jump into our numerology. So, the numerology of the day tomorrow is going to actually add up to be a 9. So, it's actually really coinciding that not only is the moon in Sagittarius for this full peak, but it's also adding up in the day that numerologically is 9 again. So it's very Sagittarian energy, very like ascension, kind of like almost maybe ascension type, hermit type energy. So what we wrote here was that this can be a time of upheaval in many ways. But firstly, it's a time in which we can literally feel ourselves outgrowing old habits. Half of this takes place by like miracle effortlessness, like the universe showing us in our context, not only where we've succeeded, but where we need to renew our commitment in accomplishing what we want to accomplish. Secondly, the other half of it is taking place in like us turning inwards, meditation, realigning our philosophy, realigning our belief systems, like from the inside out. Hermit energy, right? In order to find a level of rebirth with this moon, its secrets lie in the art of letting go. So, hence the video name, fully. Remember, the universe will guide you, and what's meant for you will always be, not like a level of attachment, right? So, if we let it go and it comes back, then like that's a success. Like that's like a celebration. If we let it go and it doesn't come back for a bit, maybe, you know, that time period, and then we'll review and, you know, reintroduce ourselves to everything soon. So not everything is always like forever in this sense. It's there's a lot of give and take in this time. So I'm gonna light the candle. We got a green candle, heart chakra vibes again. Prosperity, financial abundance, I'm wishing upon everyone at this time. So let's get into it, I guess. So if you chose Smokey Quartz, this is your reading. I'm going to now invite in all ancestors, angels, spirits, guides to be with us through the cards for our highest and our best. What do we need to know for this Sagittarius full moon? What do we need to know for our highest and our best? For clarity, integration, expansion, learning, peace of mind. Thank you. What do we need to know for group 1? Wow, okay. So, interesting. So we have parenting. Off the bat, we have parenting. So this has to do with reprogramming ourselves. This has to do with rewriting our reactions, rewriting our, you know, purposes and everything. So it says in parenting, right, there's a need for us to surrender. And what this is showing me is that there is, the answer has been shown to you. It's this sense of like, the answer has been shown to you. Maybe it's not clear, but it's going to resurface. It's going to resurface, and it has. And then we got the 991, so 9 to the 10. So that's what they're trying to show you. They're trying to show you the last thing is in letting us handle the last thing instead of you trying to, right, like bound everything to make sense to us or something, right? That's what we normally do. We try to make things make sense. But they're saying focus on your dreams right now. Focus on your vision. Let us piece it for you, right? And that surrender, that Sagittarius letting go. So we have this. There's a certain level of like putting energy into your environment, and right, our environment can be the world around us, but it can also be our home, and it can also be our body, our temple. So it could be on any of those levels. It can also be, you know, environment in terms of like mental environment or emotional environment, right? So we have all these different like perspectives that we can manifest in these ways. So they're trying to draw us into this idea of like, where am I creating my reality, kind of. That's what they want us to think about. And also, they want us to get out in nature and do what you love in nature, right? Like if like getting out in nature is driving through the San Bernardino forest or something, it's like, you know, like not so like eco-friendly or whatever, but no, just like be out there with it. Be like, it's that explorative factor. They're like showing us, it's like, it's all just love. Hey, Scott and Haley and Eric, thanks for being here. Love you guys. So yeah, so do what you want. Sunbathe, you know, that kind of thing. What's drawing you in? What's drawing you in? Let's see. Anything else? Yeah, they're like, and that part. And that part. So, yes. So we're letting go. If you don't know what to do, surrender. Okay, what do we need to know? Whoop. In this deck to bring us clarity, meaning realizations. Wow, things are like happening already. So it's showing that I see it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So there's a vibe coming on. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Oh, word up. Word up. Yes. Okay, sorry. Having a moment. Okay, so what they're showing us is that there's a time in our lives where we have this trapped feeling. We have this feeling like I can't escape. I have to do this, or like feeling like you're facing towards a direction that you didn't choose out for yourself. Yes, this type of like stagnation, like chained up, it's showing you right here, you're forgetting the lesson. That's what they're showing you. They're showing you when you feel like you don't have any options, or like you're forced to do something or be someone for someone else. No. They're saying you're forgetting the lesson. So that's what they're asking you to walk away with. It's the wisdom, it's the lesson, it's the reflection that's gonna bring us out of this feeling of like, I don't understand, right? That's because we're still processing, right? Because maybe not everything is so beneficial. It's mostly for that wisdom, for that spiritual benefit. But they're showing you that's exactly what it's about. It's about your third eye. It's about your intuition. It's about your insight. It's about your inspiration. It's about all this subtle energy that you're now becoming more aware of and organizing to make sense of. You're balancing. And this is also justice, right? And so justice is, in one way, the universe balances what I cannot. The universe balances what I cannot. And to know that is to allow yourself to walk free in a way, you know? So then we have a couple other things. So we got something in terms of, there's like a sense of security or a sense of like safety or a sense of stability that like it basically was working for us, and all of a sudden recently, right, all of a sudden it doesn't work for us. And this might be that environment card that they were bringing up earlier. All of a sudden, that whole security, that whole safety in environment, safety in self, safety in, you know, mind and emotion and heart, all of a sudden it's gone. And now we're looking for what's next. Well, that's what we want to be doing. Instead of looking for what was, right? They're showing us, look at what's next. Look at what you said. Oh, I was gonna do this. Like, that's what they're trying to show us right now. Because this could be related to a partnership. Maybe not for everyone, but for some people, this could be related to a partnership, because what they're showing me is sacral energy, right? Sacral, emotional, sexual energy, the Lovers, and new beginnings, new emotional fulfillment, new emotional birth. So all in all, what I see is that in order to have this type of vibe of like emotional balance, like physical love, you know, loving, giving exchange, having a sense of like accomplishment around that, in a sense of like, wow, we actually like made that step forward. That's what they're showing us, is that it has to do with this. It has to do with this. And it's like something about this is like we are enlarging our sense of security. We're enlarging our sense of like what is safe for us. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that to you guys. So very interesting. Let's see what comes up. Like another one. Yeah, and that's the one. So that's the main theme, is this wisdom. It's this lesson. Like, what am I walking away with? Like, right? That phoenix rising from the ashes, lotus rising from the shit. That's what the vibe is. And so the thing is, here's the thing, is that you've already fallen, right? So now it's just a matter of you getting your pretty ass back up, you know, like really. Like, so what do we need to know, Spirit? What do we need to know? Rise above, right? Right on. Right on. That's the vibe. That's the vibe. Okay, interesting. So what it's showing me here is that there is, I don't know, it's like we're working on this, we're working on compromise. We're working on compromise, and we're working on like learning truly what compromise is, in the sense of like how it affects our environment, how it changes the world around us. So for instance, no matter, right, if we give more and we give more, how does that affect our experience? If we take more and take more, how does that affect our experience? That's the vibe. That's the vibe. But it's showing us that maybe in that, or maybe in another sense, we're having a breakthrough. We're having a breakthrough. And it's in succeeding. It's in accomplishing whatever it is around this compromising, or around this like experiential, like moment to moment, right? And it has to do with our awareness. It has to do with, right, what we bring our awareness to. They're showing us this is like, that's that inner witness. That inner witness to say, right, it's a little vague in my opinion, but okay, so this is gonna be, yeah, so this is a time where you are stepping back. stepping back. I think this does make sense in terms of like compromise, like things that we want. It's almost this energy of like things we used to fight for, we don't want to fight for any longer. And what they're showing me here is they're showing me stress versus silence. Stress versus silence, right? Drama versus chillin', right? And they're showing that there's a maturity level. And so this is that like things that used to turn us on don't turn us on anymore, right? Right? That stress, that drama, we don't want to fuck with it anymore. We don't. So that's good, right? And that's that Sagittarian turn inward. That's that Sagittarian hermit. So let's see. We need to bring our awareness to in terms of emotional landscape. What do we need to know? What do we need to realign? I saw that. We don't, right? Like you think you do until like halfway through the experience. Yes, right? Speak it into existence, girl, boy, whatever. Okay, so what we got is we got grief. So I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. That's a little trippy, right? Yeah. It's not like one or the other, right? It could be something positive. It could be something negative, right? But that's grief. And then we got perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. It's just a matter of setting your mind to it. That's what we always got to tell ourselves with this card. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. It's just a matter of setting my mind to it. Like fully being like, yeah, like I want this, right? So that's the thing. So that always like shows like, right, that perseverance is like sometimes you're going to have to reset, right? Sometimes you're going to have to reset your mind. And then other times you're going to have to see maybe there's a situation where you're setting your mind to it, but it's not working, right? Then maybe it's not fully set in the moment. Yes, that's true. Sometimes it's hard to decide what we really want, right? And that's where the universe comes in too. That's where the universe comes in. It's like an experimental. A lot of this is like a semi-experimental process, you know, and like trying out what you want to try out and seeing how the universe responds. So what do we need to know in terms of our chakra system? Chakra system. Ooh, making it hard for me today. Oh, there it is. Dang. Wow, you guys, this is pretty crazy. So like, I don't know if that was on camera or not, but like the the card literally like hit like over here, like feet over. And of course it's the third eye again, which you got at the beginning of the reading. So it's like, yes, there's something where it's the universe. The universe pulled the rug up from under you, basically, right? And now you're doing the things it used to do, but it doesn't hit the same way. Right? That's what it is. That's what it is. It has a lot to do with the inner child, right? And that's what it is. It's that change of heart, right? Like how kids go through phases, adults go through phases too. Right. So that was realigned. And to pay attention to that inner child. I'm really glad that this reading is resonating with you. Awesome, Justin Bieber. Type your name if I know your name, but I don't remember why. The screen names are messing me up. So solar plex, inner child. And here's the other thing too, is that between the two of these, we have two very, very strong things. So we have our instincts and our intuition, and they're gonna fight, right? Because our instincts are out to support our body, but our intuition is out to support our spirit, right? So it's like your intuition is going to get you into some shit sometimes, right? But it's for the learning of it. It's for the lesson. And then likewise, the solar plex is going to be there when you need to protect yourself from an instinctual sense, from a physical safety security sense, to even like a emotional sense, right? Because you could totally do that. So it's a lot of balancing. It's a lot of balancing between instinct, intuition. So and then there's times where they will coincide, and that will make sense to you at that time. We also have this energy of like two things. So like one, dog. Love. So just like love, boundless love, kindness, benevolence, strength, or sharing and receiving. So right. And I feel like they're almost showing you like, okay, so we have expression. We have throat chakra. It could be a throat chakra upgrade too. Like they're asking you to express yourself. They're asking you to change your reality, right? Bringing that back. Yes. And again, to express love, to express, to share, right? To share that love, to share that intuition, to share that uncertainty, You don't always have to share positive things. That's not fair. We should be able to share these things that are don't always make sense, don't always so perfect, right? Okay. Ooh, okay. And then the last little thing, which I kind of like tugged it, but intelligence. So in the crown, intelligence, education, knowledge, perception, flexibility. So very interesting. Maybe think about that a little bit. Intelligence isn't something that we like. This deck is kind of interesting for the reasons that it like put intelligence in. So very interesting. And that we all have intelligence, right? We have IQ and we have EI, we have emotional intelligence, right? And we have all these different, like maybe this is showing like, right? You have maybe more spiritual or emotional intelligence in this sense, or maybe vice versa, more logical intelligence. That deck, I will put it in the comments after I'm streaming, but it's called the Chakra Insight Oracle. And it's by Caryn Sangster. So, what do we need to know from this last mindful deck for group 1? That was a good reading, I think. Seemed pretty clear. Okay, there it is, finally. Okay. You guys got healing heartbreak. That one's kind of rough. So in healing heartbreak, what is an affirmation that we can use? My heart will love again. My heart will love again. Just maybe not right this second. So keep remembering that for those of you who maybe aren't so sure what's going on, aren't so sure where your heart's taking you. Just know that when it's ready for action, it will let you know, And lastly, I'll do one more. Overcoming fear. I will transcend every loss. Okay, I hope all you Smokey Quartzers really liked that reading, or resonated with it, I mean. Same. I love you guys. I like that reading. I think it was pretty clear. Yeah, and I'll see you guys soon for, I think it's the new moon in Gemini. So, love you guys. If you chose green onyx, this is your reading. Woo! Yeah, I'm so happy you guys liked it. Yay. Okay. It shows me Onyx. This reading is for you. I'm now going to invite in the ancestors, angels, spirits, guides to be here with us for our highest and our best. Always. Always. Okay. So something that you're dealing with right now is maybe like a sense of forgiveness for someone. Hey Trinity, thanks for being here. So maybe a sense of forgiveness over someone. Maybe not even like a readily like, oh, you know, even feeling like attention towards it, right? This can be a subconscious thing is what I'm trying to say. And it's showing that you're doing it, and that also it's going to improve your individuality. It's going to give you a sense of sovereignty in yourself. So, right. And again, it could be forgiving yourself. Could be forgiving yourself. I will say that maybe some of you it is that, because what I see next here is, this is a weird setup, but effort and moderation, 13 and 14. So really, really, actually wasn't expecting to get those cards, but it's this energy, it's like making me want to say, put the effort more towards moderation and temperance than keeping yourself away from something or keeping yourself bound to something, if that makes sense. Try to put more energy into the moderation and the temperance and the back and forth balance of something, more so than trying to restrict or commit so one-sidedly. That's what I see. Because they're showing me that that's going to bring change, basically. So, interesting, for sure, right off the bat. Ooh, oof. So it looks like also there may be a situation where you could bring a little more love in. You could perceive a little more love that's present by trusting your intuition. By trusting your intuition. So, right. So they said we can bring a little more love in, or we can at least perceive the love that's there a little more better. If we simply tap into the intuition that we have. And otherwise, if we don't have intuition, then be patient, because we do. It's just a matter of us reintegrating it and no, not redeveloping, but developing. So, and then we got the 222 to the 66. So what does that mean? What this is showing me is that it's almost like love, or just like, this balance, this kind of like feeling supported, feeling seen, right? This want to be feeling seen. It's made up of you seeing yourself, right? That's what they're trying to say. It's made up of you seeing yourself first. And there are going to be the support. There are going to be those people around you. So, and then also, yeah. So also be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with those around you. And that's going to be a big part of it too, right? Is being in co-creation with the universe. Okay, so last thing. Last thing is that it's showing us that either in order to feel more yourself in this time, it could be a time where we need to look at where we're healing. We need to focus on our healing. in the ways that we know how, always, right? If you don't know what choice to make, it's not time to make a choice. But if you do know what choice you want to make, then that would be a good time to do so. And or otherwise, this means that in terms of healing, this is something that is actually adding to your sense of individualism, and that you may be wanting to find, you may be wanting to hear a validation of that. This is that. This is that validation. If you're interested in healing, if you're interested in learning a new type of alternative medicine or alternative communication styles, yes, this is that's a yes. Okay, what do we need to know from this? From this deck, Spirit. Oosh. Wow. Okay. This is. Oh. Okay, so lots of cards. Sorry. So what we have first is we have this kind of sense of like, yeah, it's like this sense of like, you want to keep putting yourselves in a box. You want to keep putting yourselves in a box. You keep wanting to say, well, they did it this way, so we should also do it this way. But they're trying to show you that you're not supposed to do it the way that someone else did it. You're supposed to define your own relationship, your own intimacy standards, you know? And that's the thing is that, right? You keep trapping yourself like we got to be like them, or we got to learn from them, or we got to act like them in public. But, right? Like every spiritual union is different. And that's what they're trying to get you to see, is that this is for you to judge your own spiritual union rather than judging others, right? Or even thinking that others are judging on yours, right? Because it's not. It's all just that creative energy. There's also this energy of like, there's a situation, it could be related to partnership, where you're feeling like defeated. You're feeling like, oh my God, either like, look at this guy stumbling down the stairs. This has become one of my favorite like cards for that reason. He's just so, he's like running away from the ball. Like that's what I see, like Hermione Granger, like is him. So anyway, right? We're feeling like, oh, I just want to go run away because I'm so like, people don't listen to me, or like what I did didn't work, or whatever, right? But they're showing us that it's like you need to give yourself that pat on the back in this time. No one is going to do it for you. And that's really difficult. But that's the thing, is that in spirit, in, right, getting to know oneself, right, we give recognition to ourselves, right? That's awareness. So that's what they're asking you to do, is to give yourself on the pat, give yourself a pat on the back. Tell yourself you did good. Maybe don't wait for the partner to tell you you did good, right? That's important. Now, there's also this thing going on over here. I don't know what to make of it. Oh, I see it now. Okay, so it's showing us that there's an emotional loss that we've suffered. Maybe a big emotional loss, maybe something that like it can't be replaced. Maybe some of you are like arguing over like whether or not you should truly be sad over it. You already your body already chose you're sad, right? That's the thing. That's the thing, right? So first we need to validate that loss, right? First we need to validate that loss. I'm getting a little bit of this vibe, this energy, right? But then, after we validate the loss, we need to come back, right? And we need to step onward, right? And step through, right? Maybe you don't have all the pieces, but that's the thing, right? If you don't know what decision to make, right? Maybe we can't use the pieces yet. We can continue. But it's showing us though, in validating this loss, in moving forward, in you know, giving that gift to yourself, this is so much more than what you think it is. Look at this. 1, 1. And we got individuality several times in the last deck, which is 1, 1 as well. So it's showing me that, right? Maybe this is related to individualism in a sense, or maybe it's just related to your beliefs and your values and what you're into right now. But granting that to yourself, granting that security and belief, granting that security and that safety and in philosophy and value and in, yeah, like what you want to see in this world, that's how you see it in this world, right? It's this whole vibe right here is like admittance. It's like I'm admitting things to myself. That's the energy that I'm getting, is like honesty, authenticity with yourself. Because this is going to bring you the goods. This is going to level you up. The thing is, until we step that final step, then universe is going to come through and they're going to remanifest for us, basically. With our help. But that's kind of the vibe, is that once we step that step forward, we got the 9 and we got the 1. And this is physical. This is physical border. This is coins. This is pentacles. So this is like, whatever it is, you're like, I'm almost there. Yes, you are almost there. Well done. I got carried away with this one. Yikes. But it's okay. What do we need to know from our Osho Zen Tarot? I'm going to kind of smooth through this one a bit. Oh, okay. Same vibe as the last group, more or less. So, okay, yes. So it's time. It's time to transmute that energy. It's time to transmute the energy, because the thing is, is that you can. The only thing preventing you is yourself right now, and that's what they're showing you. I don't know the name of this man, but I've told his story many times now. And he was basically the man who was sitting the closest to the enlightened Buddha at the time when he enlightened himself. So he basically found nirvana, passed on, like literally, like left his soul, leaves body, and this guy's crying. And all the other monks are like, why are you crying? Like, you know, he's in nirvana, like he's reached enlightenment, like you should be elated for this, right? And he's like, no, I am. It's just, I'm sad because I was the closest one to him this whole time and I couldn't pick up how he did it. And they're like, ooh, shit, sorry, right? And he toiled over it for a whole night, and the next morning he had passed on and he had reached enlightenment himself. And the reason why was because he transmuted his sorrow. He transmuted that confusion. He transmuted that, like, that uncertainty and that grief that he couldn't do something, right? That's what they're asking you to do. They're saying you're ready to transmute this energy. And once you do, they're showing us, this is the rebirth. This is the rebirth. That's beautiful. Yeah. Very like a release, if you will. Letting go of something you didn't know you were clinging to. like this. This is kind of a good one. Let's see. There's another one. Okay, so we got 3. So, first one, gratitude. I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Even if those opportunities don't always, right, seem so ideal at times. Yeah, because the thing is that we have abundance. I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. Right? That's you. It's just a matter of what you want to manifest, right? That's the thing. That's the thing. And that's why people say focus on your blessings, not on your blocks. Because if you focus on your blocks, you're going to get more blocks. Law of attraction. But here's the thing. This is the most important thing, right? This is the most important thing. Trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly, right? So that means if it guides me into some problems, that's still the situation for me. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. All right, what do we need to know from the chakra energetics? 1. Ooh. Oh, whoa. Okay, all of a sudden. Ooh, I love this. Okay, so you guys got sound, first of all. I love this. So, like, it is what it is. You guys can already see it. Follow the music you love, follow the sounds, you know. Conscious and unconscious sounds, right? You guys hear the car alarm? So, okay. And then we got presence. And she's looking at a bee, by the way, if you can't tell. Yeah, it's a bee, yes. And we got 44 again. Or not again, but we got 44. So it could be being present in your immediate environment. And then we got inspiration. So, and I feel like these are interconnected too, because it definitely sends the energy of like being more present brings more inspiration. That's the way I see it, at least. Conception, ideas, spark, impulse, right? And that's the thing they're trying to show you too, is that your inspirations are also your intuition. I mean, we could debate that their differences, which they are inherently different, but that's what I'm trying to say, is that messages from your guides through inspiration, through intuition, right? That's what they're trying to show you. They're like, we're going to be sending you inspirations. So now you can see that, right? And the beautiful part of it too is that here it is. They give you 1 throat chakra, 3 crown chakra, divine consciousness, oneness, light, interconnectedness, expansion. Love that. Beautiful. Divine consciousness. Always just kind of tap into that presence, you know, that energy flow. And so, yeah, really getting in that crown chakra though. Like really, they're really like pushing it on. But they're showing you ultimately this is with you in your throat, in your gut, and your choices, and your will, you know? So that's beautiful. So it's like they're gonna give you the tools, but you're the one making the choices. That's what they're trying to say. Or that's what I heard. Okay. What do we need to know from this mindfulness deck? In terms of mantras. 2. What do we need to know? Wow, that was like a lot. So let's get them real quick. And lots of like y'all got the pink vibe. Very, very pink vibe. So, okay. I love this. Okay, so first thing we got, resolving anger. This says, conflict reminds me when I need more space for myself. Not what I expected it was going to say when I first read. Conflict reminds me when I need more space for myself. Resolving anger. Okay, word up. I love that one. Okay, celebrating simplicity. I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. Beautiful. Love that. Embracing worthiness. I feel I feel worthiness filling every cell of my body, and it feels amazing. Love that. That one's a bit of a trip, but it's worth it. I feel worthiness filling every cell of my body, and it feels amazing. Word. And last, opening my mind. I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and my ideas. Okay. So, I hope you guys resonated with that reading. I really liked it. Let me know. Oh, good, Hyperdelic, I'm glad. Okay, I love you guys. I'll see you guys next 2 weeks for the new moon in Gemini. Last but not least, if you're a Selenite Huber, this is your reading. What do we need to know? I'm now going to invite in all the spirits, angels, ancestors, guides to be here through the cards for our highest and our best. What do we need to know? Wow. Wow. All of a sudden, they're like this. Okay. This is a whole awesome message, so give me a sec. Yike. Okay. 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 I understand. Okay. So, excuse the moment. So, first thing we get is the same as the last group got. It's effort. So it's kind of interesting. So we step in with this kind of like, okay, so where have we been putting our energy, right? And they answered my question. Right? So we know the topic of which. Where we're putting our energy is in the love partnership. And related to the situation, it's very interesting. It's showing us that it's like a change. It is a change. It's not like a change. It is a change. But what's interesting about it is that they gave me happy ending and timeout, right? So like stay with me, right? Because it's like, okay. But I think that's the trick of it, right? Because when I first read it, I'm like, okay, so are they like staying together or breaking up? Like, right? But that's not the point. It never is. The happy ending is that we're going to be, we're developing more time for ourselves. We're developing more space for ourselves, whether it's physical or emotional. I'll think about it. Please be honest. So that's the thing, is that the change, I very much see that the change is up to you guys to determine it, right? Because the thing is if you want a happy ending, it's there. If you want to take time more out, it's there. That's kind of what they're showing. But ultimately what I see is that there's no need for it to like change so dramatically, because here's why. The last 3 cards that we got is intuition, adventure, and compassion. And with these 3 cards, I don't see inherently people going separate ways, if you will. you know, with that intuition, that 2-2. I mean, yeah, intuition is for an individual, but we have the 2-2. And you can't have people, like, you can't have compassion without having more than one person, right? Well, debatable, but this is what I'm feeling, at least. This is what I'm feeling. And and it's showing me that it's like, this is the adventure. This is the growth, right? These are all the themes. Growing your guys' intuition, growing your sense of compassion for yourself and for one another, right? And then making yourselves feel a little bit like, yikes, right? Feeling a little bit unsure. My Instagram is Tao Guidance. Thank you for asking. So that's the theme, right? What you do with it is what you do with it. You guys know what I mean. What do we need to know more for this? Okay. So, yikes. Okay. Give me a sec. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Word up. Word up. Word up. Word up. Word up. Okay. I got it all for you guys. Just hold tight. So here it is. I am not single. There's a situation in your life. It could be the situation we were just talking about. I don't know. But the situation is, you're not going to be successful unless you seek those partnerships, right? This lesson is in partnership. This manifestation is in working together. It's in compromise, right? And this is the vibe too, because notice how partnerships and alliances, it has 2 hands, but it's the number 3, right? And so it's showing us that you never really do anything alone, right? Because once you change, you're changing in your community. And so that's what they're showing us, is they're turning this from this. So yeah, it to me, it's seeing that success is going to be in that connection. Then there's so the numbers are very interesting too here, because we got the 3-1, right? So community and individual. We have 9-1-9. So that's kind of an interesting one, because there's that Sagittarian again, right? That rebirth vibe. And so what I see here, it's like, yeah, okay. It's like, you're like this when you need to be like this, right? It's like, because this is the sun. This is the sun, and this is that core in you, right? If you're a Leo, it's that Leo aspect. If you're a Libra, it's that Libra aspect. If you're a Sag, it's that Sag fire. You feel me? That sun, you know? So that's that energy. That's that kind of like, that inner child, right? If you will. And so that's what it's showing us. This is our light. This is our gift, right? Light working. That's what it is. So what they're showing me is that there is a situation where it's like you have the answers. It's like you have the keys that people are waiting for, but you're not sharing it. And because you don't think, right, either they're not going to listen, or it's not the same, right? Like, it will work for me, but it won't work for you guys, right? Or you're not going to listen to me, right? Because it sounds wacky or whatever. But that's all. They're kind of like, that's all before, right? That's all in your head. So they're saying you got to express it before, right? You can say that I'm like just waiting or suffering in that sense. Okay. Another reason why you maybe aren't sharing this information with people is because we got the Seven of Swords. What this card shows me, especially with the Seven of Wands, the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Swords. Someone's pulling one over on you, basically. I don't mean to say it like that, but the thing is, and they're not doing it purposely. Like, maybe, but oftentimes it's not. Oftentimes, here's the thing, is that, you know, someone either didn't do what they said they were going to do, or doesn't really believe in the things that they say they believe in, or isn't really in such a good mood as they state that they are, right? That's the thing. Here's that man, and there's his mask. That's the Seven of Swords. I mean, to my understanding in this situation. So what it's showing me, though, is that it's not just about you being like, oh, either envious of someone or like letting your own self deceive you, because they said stand your ground. So that's the thing. It's not just like, oh, you're not, you know, and some of you guys are like, oh shit, I felt that. So it's like, that's the thing, is like, you can see clearly and they're trying to paint it over. Spirit is trying to show you that you're seeing it clearly. And that's the thing too, right? Because you're seeing it clearly, that should help you, right? It should help you share your light more openly. Maybe after we have this little thing. But lastly, it's showing us like this is big, because it is about the sun in the sense of like, this is us getting more in tune with ourselves, getting more in tune with like what we're bringing here and where we spend our time and how we share ourselves, right? But it's also about the star. So this is really important because star, hope, right? Faith. Excuse me, someone's like, yeah, that part. So hope, faith, the light at the end of the tunnel vision. The light at the end of the tunnel vision, right? And that's what it is. It's that vision. There's a little person in there, right? It's that little vision. Big vision. Because they're showing us, that's the thing. These are all just little obstacles. So you reinforce that vision, right? And you're adding that strength and you're adding that wisdom behind it. That's what they're trying to get you to do right now. It's not just like, oh yeah, do whatever you like and just la la. No, they're like trying to like make some shit with you. So it's like, yeah, they're gonna have to like adjust it. They're like, sorry. Okay. What do we need to know from the Osho? Zen Tarot. Keywords, vibes, messages. Wow. It's wow. Okay, one more. Okay, got it. So, sames, lovers again, love partnership reading this one. So, sames, and then here's the thing. So, basically, they gave me, how do I do this? Sorry. They gave me the dream, they gave me traveling, and they gave us, us, flowering. So here's the thing. It's showing us several things right now. It's showing us that we're ready to receive, and maybe that we are receiving, maybe that we're receiving and we don't even realize what it is that we're receiving because we've been asking for it for so long that like now that we get it, we're like, what? Right? Because we've kind of changed our perspective. And that's the thing. I feel like they're like, okay, go back to your vision, right? Go back to that dream and then come back and see what we did. That's kind of the vibe. And the vibe, and it makes sense though, because we have this, it's the growth. It's where you're growing. It's where we're progressing, right? And then we have our lovers. And we have our compromise. Right? And dualisms right here. Dualisms. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Right? Your partner is that greatest mirror. In the sense. So, and maybe it won't be, maybe it's not that like partner, intimate partner. But we have different lovers in our lives. So it could be that, right? Teaching ourselves compromise versus teaching ourselves control. So here's the thing. Here's the message, if you will. They're giving me compromise and control, and they're giving me exhaustion. And when I get this card, what I see is that I see where the exhaustion occurs. So basically what they're showing us is that in the exhaustion, it's having to do with our lover. It's having to do with that mirror image, if you will. And the exhaustion is it's like a street sign, right? It's like a street sign. Until you see that street sign, you maybe think you're driving home, right? And then all of a sudden you see the street sign and you're like, oh shit, I'm on the other side of town. That's what they're trying to show you. Because that's what's going to happen when we're not looking for that compromise, right? When we're turning this compromise into control, right? And that's what they're showing us, is that in having that control, in trying to cling to that control, right? Trying to bind everyone to this like idea that we had, which like the intentions can be totally good. That's the messed up part, is that it can be a totally good intention thing. But the thing is that the control, the thing is that that attachment, basically. And they're showing us that that control leads to the exhaustion. So when you see the exhaustion, you can know that there's too much control being had. That's what they want you to see, because ultimately it's going to bring about the completion of that mindset and that scenario that's happening. So, guys, that was like kind of a thing, but that was a good one. So let's move on real quick. What do we need to know from this next deck in terms of perhaps emotions or just realigning? Oop. Oh, wow. Oh, I love this. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. It's just a matter of setting my mind to it. And that's kind of the trick. That's kind of the trick. And it might be different for everyone too. And it's a process. But with discipline, I can accomplish what I set my mind to. With freedom, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. One more time for the people in the back. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Yeah, some people are like, that part. Sorry. And that's it. That literally that part is the failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. And like seriously though, like in terms of your relationship too, like we always want to be so perfect. We always want to hold ourselves to these standards that are like super outrageous, but like other people could just do whatever, right? That's okay. So we've kind of aligned those things. Let's see, chakra energetics wise, what do we need to know? What can our chakra system tell us at this time? Oh, wow, interesting. You guys got one of the same cards as the last group. Oopsies. So we got sound, which I love this. So it's like, you know, pay attention to the conscious and unconscious sounds in your life, but then also like pursue it, right? Follow your gut instincts, or at least bring awareness around your gut instincts, right? Have you been following your gut, or have you been ignoring your gut, right? Right? Or like when your gut tells you something and then later on you're like, oh, that's what you were talking about. So we have that. Yeah, and I feel like this is all about coming home to yourself. That I kind of copied the card, but that's what it is. So they said home. And that's why I'm like, with the sound, with that kind of like those higher realms, right? Like sound, light, like consciousness, right? Those higher realms and sound can kind of purify those realms, you know? And then same with the gut instincts. It's like those gut instincts are going to be there. Like your body being like, I want this. Like it knows, right? So that's what they're asking. They're like, ask and listen. Because, right, this is going to take you back home. This is going to take you into yourself, right? This is going to bring you that hermit vibe. So I love that. And, right, peep the freaking ferret. So cute. Okay, so that's what we have in Chakra Energetics. Our last deck for the day is going to be a little mantra deck that I recently got. So what do we need to know from this deck for these Selenite people? What do we need to know? There has to be. Wow, I think that's it. Oh, one more. Yeah, you guys are, it's like, I want to say that you guys are in a place where something happened or something ended or something like that ended a while ago is just now kind of like the energy is like resurfacing and transforming into something, it like kind of coming back in, like you're calling the energy back. Words. There's a lot of energy coming back to you right now, and that's kind of what I'm seeing, is that with that extra energy, there's extra awareness and there's extra, like, can be confusing sometimes. So these are really good for that, I think. Untangling neglect. I give the time. I'm sorry. Scratch that. I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire. I take the time to give myself all of the approval I desire. Awakening inspired action. There's only what life is asking of me. There's only what life is asking of me. And then lastly, integrating the ego. Everything is for me, not against me. That one's a good one. Everything is for me, not against me. That's your guys' readings. I really hope that you guys got something out of this. I know I did. I think it was actually a really good day. I love you guys all. I hope that it all resonates, and I'll talk to you guys soon. And then if not, I'll see you under the new moon in Gemini. All right. Love you guys.